Look, Ma, I'm a gunsmith. Hey guys, this is just a quick one here today, but I did it, and I did it with a Dremel in the garage. So I'll roll in some footage here in a second, but essentially, you know, I've got a magwell that works now, and this was previously a bone stock, well, basically GI style Rock Island double stack 45. The Rick Special. You guys have seen it around, and if you've watched the other videos, the main thing was I wanted to prove that, yes, I did get the magwell on here on a standard frame with nothing but a Dremel, some hand files, sandpaper, and actually fairly minimal swearing. But, you know, there it is. It works. I just wanted to talk a little bit about installing this little Taylor Freelance Fattie magwell onto the Rock Island frame here. So this is their standard one, not the tall model that is designed to work specifically with these frames, because those just go straight on the bottom. This one, you can see here, the the mainspring housing pin, where it goes through. Obviously, the bottom of the rest of the magazine area has to be a little bit shorter because they cut the frames differently for the magwell ready ones. So I've already used my depth gauge on my calipers here to measure this, and I confirmed with one of the gunsmiths at Armscore that I need to take off about 0.15 thousandths of an inch off the bottom here. So, or sorry, not thousandths, but 0.15 inches off the bottom of this. So I used that, I marked it, and this should go on pretty easy. I'm just going to use a cutoff wheel on the Dremel and go very carefully, and then finish it all up with a file. Now, this would be a lot easier to do with a mill, but I don't have a mill, and I wanted to basically prove that this is something you can do in your garage without ruining the gun. Also, on top of that, this thing's going to cover up like, I don't know, like almost a couple 16ths of an inch right there. So you can booger up the bottom of that pretty good, and you'll never, ever see it, even if you do it yourself and you do kind of a mediocre job. So, you know, well, if you want to do that, Godspeed. Well, we'll see how this works for me. Alrighty, well there we have it. Now I just got to touch that up with a hand file and we should be able to get this guy on. And look at this. Mags even go in like they're supposed to. No whacking or banging or whatever. Also guys, these will start to get chewed up if you're practicing your reloads and everything properly, because, you know, metal feed lips slamming into aluminum magwells, but realistically, you're not going to wear the thing out. It's just an aesthetics thing. Which honestly is why I was entirely comfortable attacking this project with a Dremel in my garage. And it's worked out nicely so far. Essentially, all you have to do is remove some of the material around the front, not the mainspring housing area, but just the magazine well area, because the mainspring housing pin is in the same spot. I'll throw in a picture here of the magwell and you'll see what I'm understanding. I talked about it in another video where I was talking about the final setup for this gun after I'd got it all rocking and rolling. And so, I mean, this is more just a follow-on. But once you cut that off, you'll want to kind of blend the magwell and stuff in here. I went around with a Dremel after I popped this guy off and just rounded that off just a little bit, just to remove any little areas where the mags could snag on the way in. It's something you'll want to do because if you're setting this thing up for USPSA, having those blisteringly fast reloads is kind of important. But yeah, that's it. It works. Next project, getting an optics cut, and we're ready for limited optics. I may add a gas pedal, but it's got that big grip on it, and I honestly don't think that I need it. I've got a pretty strong grip, and this gun's so heavy in the first place, it really sits still and tracks very nicely.